Hey guys, my name is Jarrell Johnson. You guys might recognize me from TikTok. This is my podcast, Emotional Expression, where I express my emotions about my disability and I try to basically spread awareness. Today I have my friend Justin on with me for this podcast.
Hi guys, how you doing? My name is Justin Cuevas.
So in today's episode we're just gonna talk about how we met, how our friendship was formed, what is his disability, what motivates him to keep going. And let's see the challenges that Justin faced in his life having his disability. Okay, Justin, so first question. What is what is your disability and how did we meet?
My disability is called cerebral palsy. And we met back in high school in 2019.
For like 3 months. We met back in high school for like 3 months because I had went to a high school where they focus a lot on physical therapy for people with disability. But what I didn't realize is that in doing so I kind of sacrificed what it was like to be in a public school system, although the CP Center was a really, really, really good school. I just wanted a little bit better education, so I ended up leaving, but me and Justin stayed in contact. And yes, we do have the same disability, but it's a different variation of cerebral palsy.
Yeah,
Okay,
okay.
okay, you could speak now. Sorry.
Yeah, so basically my disability only focuses on my hand motor and my legs. It's not as bad, but it's still pretty difficult to do certain things.
And that's the thing, like having a disability, although it comes in different variations, it's still very, very, very difficult to, deal with that disability.
Yeah, but I've learned through a lot of hard labor and stuff to just roll with it.
Can you
I'm
give, oh, can you give the audience a good example of, um, like hard times with your disability, if you don't mind?
um I guess I would say I can't really go far distances, or at least going a far distances would take me a little while considering my legs and my knees don't work as well as they used to. So
Yeah.
it takes me a while to get to point A to point B, if you get where I'm going.
Would you say that every now and then that like affects your emotions and the way you think about your disability?
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
Because I remember, like, when I started to really see what my disability affected throughout my life, it really started to change my point of view on life. Because, um, I just felt weak and I felt helpless, and I didn't like that feeling whatsoever.
Yeah, I understand completely. It's difficult, but sometimes I've learned to just roll with life. I
For,
could have this disability may have slowed me down, but it's not going to stop me from living my life.
I completely agree with that, Justin. Disabilities may slow us down, but it's definitely not going to stop us from living life, as we know it, because it's not going to change. So we might as well just deal with it and learn how to adapt to certain situations in life.
I mean, there are some blessings with it, because if I didn't have this, I wouldn't be going to the school I'm going now. I wouldn't have met the people I know. So there's one positive about it.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, some people say what if, but to be honest, really, there is no what if in life. It's
You
just,
you don't
it's
you
re.
don't get you don't get to choose life. Life just comes at you, and you have to figure out how to fall through with it.
Yeah, exactly. Life just chooses you. You don't choose life. If we got to choose life, then everyone would have the, perfect outlook and the money and the, you know, all that power. Like, everyone
Yeah,
just have complete control over their lives. But
but at the same
unfortunately,
time, but at the same time, if you have all that money, all that fame, that good life, you don't work hard for anything. So as far as this goes, this disability has taught me to work hard for what I have, to work hard to get to where I want to go.
Yeah, like Justin just said, like if you have all the money and the fame, you then become, you want more and more. As humans, we never stop wanting more and more because we're greedy. We keep wanting to elevate, but there comes a point where you have to balance elevation with expectation.
You have to learn how to slow down. You have to learn that life isn't just a straight line.
Exactly, that's a good one. Life is not just a straight line whatsoever. Life pulls you in so many different directions that it's not even funny.
Yep. But as I said, it's not stopping me. It's not going to stop me. I mean, to be honest, in 2020, back in COVID, I did have a spiral of a moment of depression, but I went past it, and now I feel good about myself. I don't
I rem I remember that because you needed to get surgery, right, and everything else
no
like that.
no I didn't get a surgery. I didn't need to get surgery, but that is when my knee problems, like my dislocations, actually started. So when I learned about that, and combined with the fact that we were home all day, it kind of took a toll on my mental state.
That's the thing. Like, um, mental states for people with disabilities are a lot different than your average person just being depressed. Because a lot of the times our depression doesn't come from you know like our depression doesn't come from being our depression comes from being different is what I'm trying to say. Like not being able to maybe drive, not being able to have a job like a normal person, or not being able to move. It stinks, but
Yeah, you see, honestly, you see all these people bragging about their jobs, talking about how successful they are, but they don't know how much of a struggle it is for people like us. Our,
exactly.
in our
eh,
everyday
eh,
life, we go through struggles, but you don't see us complaining.
exactly. And the thing is, we don't get showcased enough like to people about like our disability and stuff.
And honestly,
We
that kind of bugs me because we're human too. Anyone who's watching this, I want you to understand we're all human. Just because we look different or walk different does not mean that we are not human.
or even talk different because we can't forget about the ones that the disability that
Yeah,
their
right, right.
speech is affected.
We're all
And I feel like with disabilities it gets confused with like the lower functioning ones versus higher
yeah.
functioning. We all get placed into that one category.
Yeah, apparently some people think every disability is the same. No, it isn't.
Every disability affects different motor skills in your brain differently as well.
Yep.
But as we know, people with disabilities still want futures. So with that being said, Justin, what do you want to do with your future?
Um. Uh. Okay. Right now, I'm doing something in school that involves doing bank accounts and stuff, but I have considered if I want to do a stay at home job, I could consider either doing YouTube or starting a podcast on my favorite topics. I've been speculating on what I want to do, but there's no concrete plan for that yet.
Yeah, like the Flash, me and Justin are both nerds for the Flash and superheroes and stuff like that. I feel
Yeah,
like
yeah.
shit. I feel like that's how we became friends, right? Because
No,
we're
and
just like
honestly, I did not fall in love with the Flash because of the superhero. I fell in love because of the actor.
Iris West was a freaking baddie.
She was a
She
bandit.
she she used to be. Now she's
People,
just like
people, listen. Go watch seasons one. If this is your choice, go watch seasons 1 through 5. Go watch it. Look at her facial features. Look at her fucking facial features.
Yo, no, you know what I might do, Justin? I might put a picture. I don't care if people don't know what we're talking about. I
No,
might
you're
have to.
listen. You have to put a picture up there because honestly, look, I know she's not here, but Candace, Miss Patton, nothing against you, nothing at all. But your facial features have changed so much, bro. I watched the same series 8 times, and I still can't believe you got that ugly.
But let's not. I'm not trying to get off track. Let's go
No, no,
back to the
no, no.
P.
Let's get back on track.
But
Okay, so like I was saying, like podcasts about my favorite topics, for example, The Flash, wrestling. I'm really into gaming and technology, so I may consider doing that.
have you ever considered like an online job, like customer service, so you could like make money?
Yes, I have actually. I am actually studying that in school.
Because
So
one thing I really want to see for people with disabilities is people with disabilities being able to live a normal life and have jobs and have houses and just a general way of living. I want people with disabilities to be able to live on their own and be independent because that's what every person with a disability wants.
yeah,
In some way, we
you
all want to be independent.
you see a lot of this. You see a lot of the people like us, disabilities, living with their parents. And don't get me wrong, I love living with family, but there are some people who are, let's just say, in their early 20s, late 30s, and still dealing with that struggle.
Yeah, and you don't want to be like that because you want to be able to venture out on your own eventually.
Yeah,
And I feel like that's another reason why people perceive us as like, oh, this person needs a lot of help because they see us having a lot of help from like family members and stuff. But the truth is we do need help, but that doesn't mean we get to be viewed differently.
just because we need help doesn't make us any different.
Exactly. It doesn't mean that we don't want the girl. It doesn't mean that we don't want the job or the to make our own family someday. It just means that like
It's just harder for us to obtain.
exactly like a lot harder.
That's why people should consider themselves lucky instead of complaining all the time.
Real. Cause not to mention the fact that it could have been worse for me and you. That's
Yeah.
why I feel blessed and you definitely feel blessed
Honestly,
and
you know what? I am struggling, but I am, like I said, I am grateful for what I've been given. I could have gotten a lot worse. Hell, I could be in a wheelchair
I know you've seen people with disability where their situation is a lot worse than yours.
every day,
'Cause I have
every
seen
every weekday. I see this.
I've seen people like that, and it just stinks that they're still living life and still happy, but in a different way. They don't have a sense of what reality is, but they use their imagination a lot, and that's what
No,
kills me.
because honestly, our disability has honestly taught us to be strong.
Yeah,
Have a good strong mental balance.
mhm. And we can't give up. We just gotta keep going.
Yeah,
I think for us, especially being men, the way men are showcased on TV, where they're like the strongest person ever, or
yeah.
they have
I,
they have the they have
uh,
the good looks. I feel like that's where our struggle comes in because we judge ourselves because we're men and we feel like we have to
honestly,
reach us.
yeah, it's like you said, movies, TV shows, even freaking wrestling. I watch wrestling and I see people with freaking jumping off of barricades
Frickin'
and shit.
frickin' Drew McIntyre with the big ass
freaking 38
abs and
years,
shit.
freaking 38 years old, having freaking bulgy abs and whatnot.
you
But
know he
anyway,
got
it's like you said, it's a struggle for us, but we're not gonna, as I said, I keep saying it, and I'm gonna keep saying it. We're not gonna slow down. We're not gonna give up. We're not gonna just sit there and ask, "What if?" There is no what if.
we could ask what if when we're like joking around, but we can't say what if all the freaking time. It's
Because
normal to think.
the only what if is the one you make. You're allowed to. This is your path. You make your own choices. You choose what you want to do.
It's like other metaphors, like everything happens for a reason. I feel like that metaphor right there kind of shelters people from actual reality. It's like you gotta make your path happen. The path isn't
Yeah,
gonna be created on its own.
I learned something a few months ago, which is every negative has a positive.
Hmm.
From like I
Positive and positive
positive,
and negative reinforcement. No.
yeah. For every bad thing you experience, there's always gonna be one to either counteract it or make it or even be better.
Okay, let's get on to the next question. Um, Let me see what the next question was because I kind of forgot.
Oh, it was what do you want people to know about me?
Oh, what do you want people to know about you? Like, what do you want? What positive message do you want people to know about yourself? Like, your personality.
Well, I guess for me, I can be I'm a jokester. I like to joke around, but most of the time I am just an ordinary guy. I'm pretty much always happy. I don't I mean, yeah, I'm pretty much always happy. I'm always looking for the good in things.
Would
I'm
you
always
say
look.
you're? Would you say you're like an outgoing guy? Yes,
Yeah,
I would. I would definitely say you are. I would definitely say you are.
yeah.
And like,
I'm very outgoing. I can be easy to talk to, as well.
very easy to talk to. Like, me and you, I remember. I'm just gonna say this: me and Justin didn't talk for 3 years after I left
No,
school.
honestly, the only reason I I keep in mind this is a joke. I keep joking with him about how he left me out of contact for 3 years, and when we started playing WWE 2K23, that's when we started talking to each other.
That's what really bonded us. Like the game and shit really like bonded us. I feel
The game is very addicting, people.
it is very addicting, and we rage a lot too. That's the funny thing.
Honestly, I'm gonna bring this up real quick, but for anyone who does play the game in this podcast, anyone who's watching this, the servers can sometimes be complete shit.
This is just gonna be a bonus question, so we could keep the podcast going. But would you say like throughout your life, like would you say that like let's say you have a crush, right? Would you say that it's hard to pursue like a relationship as a young, individual?
Um, I don't know, cause I've actually never considered that option. I've never actually been asked that question about crush and whatnot, but I would say it would be pretty easy for me to talk to a girl. I said I'm a pretty easy person to talk to. Just it depends what the topic is, really.
Hold on, Justin, because your camera turned off for some reason. Don't know why.
The camera's on at my end. I still see it.
Oh, so I guess as long as you see, 'cause I don't see, I don't see shit right now, but they can still hear your audio, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Um, for me, I feel like recently, like I'm gonna be honest, I've been like thinking about it, and I'm gonna talk more about it in other podcasts. But I feel like for us, um finding a girl isn't so simple because they have to like accept our disabilities. So, you know?
Yeah, but honestly, I've learned to just take things one step at a time. Don't rush things. Don't just take things slow. Take things in a simple route.
Exactly. You have to because in life it's gonna get harder and harder, and you have to learn how to balance all that stuff.
Yes, exactly.
I feel like our generation has a lot of social issues as well. Like not wanting to put themselves out there, maybe
Yeah,
being too nervous.
honestly, most people, when I was growing up, you actually went outside and made friends. Now you make friends off of the internet.
It's because of the online shit, man. I'm telling you, it's because everything's online now. So we've we've
No,
then turned
no, because now
we've
you
turned
see people scared to talk to people outside, but you already talk to them on the internet. What's the
that's
difference?
that's because typing on a phone is a lot easier than seeing them in person now.
But to me, if you get to meet the person in real life, you get to know more. In my opinion, you get to know more about them because there are a lot of things that people don't want to discuss over the internet.
Exactly, but that's where the social issue comes in because people feel comfortable when they're at home talking to someone on Twitter or Facebook or Snapchat or Instagram.
This is going to sound sad, but if this continues in the future, you're going to see people cooped up in their house.
Oh, no, bro, I'm telling you, we're gonna be like fucking Wally.
You're going to see robots everywhere and shit.
Have you ever seen that scene from Wally where everyone's like connected to freaking chairs and shit?
See,
I,
everyone's just gonna be sitting in their chairs, not going outside, not interacting with people. Meanwhile, the seven says 7%, or the minimal percent, I should say, that are gonna talk to actual people, and you got the most of the world's population sitting, like you said, sitting at home, talking on Twitter or Instagram or whatever new social media comes out.
and like I said, I think it's because of social media that people don't really like to talk to anybody, especially if you're new in their life. What I mean by that is, if somebody has a comfort circle, like a friendship circle that they're comfortable with, and they meet somebody new, they're then not comfortable to talk to that person.
Yeah,
'Cause they don't know their personality, they don't know their true intentions. So they stop being skeptical and, you know, they start just shutting themselves down, if that makes sense.
yeah. And don't get me wrong, you can make some friends on the internet, but you can't forget about your real friends, the friends that you met back a few years ago, the friends that will stick by you to the end of days. You are always gonna have friends who will stick by you for the good or the bad. Some friends are even gonna be considered family.
Exact, exactly. Those friends that always have your back are important. Very, very important. I feel like the ones who don't have many friends are the realest people, and it's sad. Like,
Yeah, honestly,
but
I don't.
but also when you just put yourself in that if you just put yourself in that comfort circle, then you're not trying to meet anybody new. That's not doing much for your self-esteem either, you know?
Yeah,
Like, your confidence, you're always worried about people's intentions. You're always questioning, you know, your other relationships. It's not really that healthy.
yep. I mean, my social circle is pretty small, but that's only because I don't want to keep it that way forever, but I'm just not up for making friends on the internet.
No, I don't blame you, and we shouldn't really be making a lot of friends on the internet. It's unfortunately, it's a generational shift, you know. It really is.
Yeah.
Um, cause back in the day, like you said, everything used to be like social and everything.
Yeah,
I remember.
back when I was growing up, there was tech, but it wasn't as advanced as
Yeah,
it is now.
no, exactly. Back when I was growing up, I was just literally watching freaking iCarly and shit like that with friends. Like,
Yeah, that's literally all we did was just fucking watch TV.
but then, but then Instagram came out and it was, bro. I feel like then we turned like 11 and 10 and it was over.
Yeah, goodbye actual friendships. Hello freaking robo friendships.
We might as well freaking turn it
You might
into
as well
the
just
freaking
you might as well just turn me into a goddamn robot right now.
exactly. And you know what's sad? You know the what's it called? The virtual currency shit. Like they're saying like everything's gonna be done virtually, like with the VR shit and everything. And
Yeah.
there's for the future years coming. And I'm like, bruh, I forgot what it's called. Do you remember what it's called, Justin?
What, crypto?
Not crypto. Um, where it's like virtual. Oh, the metaverse. The metaverse. There we go.
Oh,
The metaverse.
oh, right.
They say everything's gonna be done by like the freaking metaverse and shit.
To be honest, I don't even want to think about that. Like, we kept talking about how sad some people's lives are because of technology, and then as we grow older, we're gonna see nothing but tech.
Not even that. Like, do you know how many experiences people are missing out on because they want to stay on their freaking like?
Uh-huh.
It's just crazy, man. And I don't even know what we're gonna make the thumbnail, but I think I'm just gonna take a screenshot of the like this one right here. What? Look. Wait, let's do one right now. Well, let's do one right now.
All
Smile,
right.
and then I'll point at you like this. There we go. That's the thumbnail. You know, needed to do that real quick for YouTube. Um, but yeah, like I said, the virtual world is scary.
This is why we should have a healthy mix of everything. Don't
Bro,
let
bro,
don't let,
no, don't get me wrong. Like I love technology, but like we need a balance, you know.
yeah, honestly, technology has helped me out. Honestly, if it wasn't for tech, I wouldn't. I mean, I'm not gonna say I wouldn't have gotten far, but this has helped me a lot regarding my disability and what I can and cannot do.
Yeah, that's another thing. Like technology could help people with disabilities like a lot. Like when I say a lot, I mean a lot. Like people who could only move their eyes, you like you know machines like called eye gated and stuff to where they could control their computer with their
Yep,
eyes
I know
and
exactly.
like
I know exactly everything about that because where I go to school, there are a lot of that. I eye gazes, iPads, talkers, everything.
I agree. It has helped us a lot, like tremendously.
But like we said, you need to have a healthy mix, healthy balance. Because if we don't have a balance, you're
Then
gonna
we're
overdo
screwed.
it.
What would you say like favorite childhood shows are? What would you say?
Um, my my favorite childhood shows.
Like wrestling? Like
Shoot. I guess I used to watch a lot of. I guess SpongeBob. I used to watch Lego Ninjago a lot. But
yeah.
the real, I guess my real favorite childhood show, I'm gonna say, is The Flash. Because I started watching that at 9 years old. So
We definitely needed more questions to go into more detail, but maybe I should have thought of more, but I feel like we covered everything that was really
yeah,
important.
honestly, guys, I want you to know something. We had thought of this a week in advance.
For real, please don't judge. um, this is my first time like doing a podcast like this, so I'm just trying to, part of it expressing your emotion and all is also expressing your interest. You're
Yeah,
talking, you're communicating, and that's what this podcast is about. Just like talking and communicating with people, because we
and to
lack
be honest,
socializing.
I'm gonna bring up something. Certain podcasts only bring one topic, and don't get me wrong, that's not bad, but you need to learn how to have a healthy mix. You need to learn how to have fun because podcasts, in my opinion, are supposed to be fun. You can't just stick to one topic and
Yeah, you don't want to sound like a broken record. You don't want to sound like a robot that's reading from a script, and that's
I mean, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. There's always the podcast always has a main message, but if you want to have some fun, if you have a close friend, let's just say me and Jarrell, for example, we bring up random topics that we want to talk about, and then we just talk about it.
and sometimes we laugh, sometimes we get sad, sometimes we get angry, but that's a
Yeah,
part of emotional expression. That's what you have to do.
like that joke we made earlier about actress for Iris. that's
That,
just that's just us hating. That's just us making jokes.
hmm like that's just us like bullshitting around, and that, like I said, that's a part of talking with friends and stuff like that. No, that's just part of life. But
Yeah, it's just a little joke between friends. It's not nothing, nothing offensive, nothing extreme. We're not looking for extreme.
nothing to get canceled for. That's for sure.
No.
But I think we covered all the questions. So, what I'm gonna say, Justin, what do you want to leave this podcast with? Like a positive message?
Um, I guess, guys, I would say just be grateful. Don't don't expect things to come to you right away. If you want something, you have to work for it.
And I feel like Justin's right, but obviously, as humans, like I said, we want everything, but it's always important to find that happy medium in life.
Yeah,
You
you
know?
can't always aim for everything. You have to be careful, or you have to be mindful of what you aim for.
Yeah, be mindful and make sure it's realistic, but don't let somebody tell you to be realistic. You have to look deep inside yourself
Yeah,
and you know
you have to figure that out
determine
on your own. That is something.
determine what that's something that we go through on a day-to-day basis, like people telling us what our expectations should be and what our limitations are.
what we
And that's
can and
another thing I hate.
what we can and cannot do. Like, honestly, can we talk about? Honestly, I'm gonna talk about a teacher that I used to have in high school. If you're okay with it,
Yeah, but just don't name. That's not.
all right. I'm not gonna name her, but I'm gonna say she was my homeroom teacher as well as my language arts teacher. And when I say I did not like this woman, oh my goodness, I was
It, wa-
fine with her for a couple of years, and then by the fourth year, I was done. I had freaking K music playing in my head, freaking Smooth Chemical. You don't know. Some of you may not know what that is, but I had Smooth Chemical playing in my head over and over.
and I had a similar experience with Justin where a teacher would tell me my limitations and set her own expectations for me. Like, I just felt like doubted. I felt, like I didn't have control.
Yeah, that's the same thing for me. But instead of being pushed back, I felt like I was being pushed too hard.
That's another thing. Because we need help, I feel like certain people in our lives try to take control, like be dominant, you know.
Yeah. Something people got to remember is that we control our own lives. You can't control it for us.
We control like our destiny and where we're gonna go in life. Well, we
I
control
mean,
the option. We
we control.
control the
Yeah, we
options.
control. We control options for destiny. But when you let someone control literally everything you do, that's when you realize that it makes you feel weak. It makes you feel like, what do I do? Like, it makes
Yeah,
you ask. It makes you ask a question. What do I do? What can I do? What's my plan?
it's like when you lose your spot, you get out of place, but then you need to find a new spot.
Yeah,
You know,
there's always gonna be a new spot. There's always gonna be a place where you belong. That's another message I want to leave behind. There's always gonna be a place where you belong, friends, family. There's always gonna be a group of people who will love and care for you.
I agree with that completely. Like there's always gonna be a challenge, but it's important to overcome that challenge. But with that
There.
being said, oh,
Oh,
say it.
hold on. I'm gonna say one more thing. Um, with every challenge, there's always gonna be a group of people to help you overcome it. That's what I've learned over the past few years, and I'm honestly very grateful for it. So,
it it's definitely important to have a support system, especially when you have a disability. So never be
yeah,
ashamed. Never be ashamed of that.
yeah.
But
All right.
with
Well, I
that
guess
being
that's
said,
everything.
Justin, yeah, that is everything. But with that being said, thank you, bro. Talk to you soon, and peace, guys. That was an emotional expression with JJ and Justin.
See you later, guys.
Peace.